Hey guys, welcome to this segment. It is PT Tuesdays with myself, Coach Irene, and I have on this segment Dr. Reyes that is going to tell us the importance of foam rolling. So take it away.
All right. So I think first the most important part is just to understand like what foam rolling really does for you, you know. And there's all these different sizes, shapes. I always have clients tell me like, what's the best one to get, right? For me, the most important thing is just to understand that you're applying it to your body like a self massage. So whether you get a small one or a big one, it doesn't really matter. But really, we use it a lot for improving the mobility as well as blood flow to a certain part of the body whenever my patients do it. But even myself, when I do it, I just like to do it to help kind of reduce pain concepts that people have. And it's really important to just apply to an area because you're really waking up the body. You know, I foam roll my calves and my back almost every day, just because those are two areas that I tend to feel kind of like constricted in because I'm always kind of forward posture. Another thing about foam rolling is it's a really good investment. So, I mean, before I had a foam roller, I was constantly seeing the doctor. And now that I have a foam roller, I've been able to reduce that myself. And a lot of my patients do the same thing right before they leave. A foam roller is what I always recommend. I'm like, hey, you want to have like less likelihood of trying to go back to physical therapy or, you know, having more problems or to fix them yourself, buy a foam roller, apply it, and you'll see like the difference. You know, it may not be immediate effects, but you'll see it throughout the time. So,
Okay, so I want to take a break and I'm going to show you. I have two different foam rollers here. I have this really big one that's like kind of like rigid and stuff like that. And then I have this little tiny one, which is the one that I use like for my neck and everything. And you know that when you said that you were like, that you had a problem with like forward posture that like made me sit up straight. Like, I was like, oh wait, hold on. Just letting you know. Gotta listen to the doctor, guys. Gotta listen. But yes, so I have this small one, and what I use it for is pretty much like my neck because I have had an injury when I was in the military with my neck, and I noticed that this foam roller, at least for me, the smaller one helps because this bigger one is kind of too big. Like I'm like, oh, you know, and it doesn't work out. And it helps me, like this one helps me more with like my bigger parts of my body, like my back or my, you know, my thighs and things like of that nature. And then the smaller one, I feel like it helps with, you know, with my neck or with my arm, like in this area here, because I know that sometimes it's really difficult to get under there, you know, and I have, at the moment I've had a rotator cuff injury. And the doctor here, by the way, guys, the doctor here helped me by telling me to foam roll, you know, my upper back. And it's actually been helping. So thank you, doctor.
No problem.
So, okay. So what do you recommend? Like, I know that, look, we don't have that much money. I've been telling everybody, go to Five Below. There are $5 foam rollers. Thursdays, they have new, you know, so you guys, Thursdays, go on Thursday. So they have new inventory on Thursdays and it's only $5. So do you recommend it to be, I know that you said that it doesn't matter the size and stuff like that, but at least for me, like for the smaller one, my neck, when I have neck injuries, you know, stuff like that, is there like, I don't know, like, is it, for me, it's difficult to use the bigger one on my neck. Now, have you seen that that's a, you know what I mean? Is that a trend? Can you use it on your back and your neck will stop hurting as well? Do you have to foam roll your neck? Like, how does that?
Yeah, see, that's a great question because there's so many different techniques we can use out there. I normally, if it's like kind of the trap level and below, that's when I recommend a foam roller into play. When we're talking about muscles in the back of the neck, yeah, you can use a smaller foam roller. I typically actually have my patients stretch and do other things for posture. It all depends on your intent behind what you're doing. For me, you know, I have either tennis balls or massage balls because if I'm trying to get into that like upper trap to neck area, I kind of want something to dig in I think I don't have it here. I actually have it in the other room, but I have like a massage ball and tennis balls or golf balls that I use for areas like that I can kind of post against the wall and do areas like that. But can you foam roll with a smaller foam roller on your neck? Absolutely. It's just, what's your intent behind it? Are you trying to reduce pain over time? Or are you trying to improve the blood flow to an area before a workout or after a workout? Typically, I just do the foam roller for my patients because they have pain. I mean, pain's the biggest concept out there that people have, and we're trying to reduce it. There's very few people that I've seen that try to use it for another purpose, just because pain is such a big topic in today's world. But yeah, I mean, absolutely great question. You can, the smaller one. I mean, if I had a smaller, I would use it on my neck as well, because
okay.
I mean, it works great.
Okay, great. Because I wanted to know, I've had gone to, physical therapy before, and I have had, those balls and everything. And to be honest, like the pain that I have in my neck when I use the ball, at least for myself, it was always so painful for me afterwards. Yeah. And I feel like when I use a foam roller, it isn't, because it's pretty much, foam rolling my entire neck and my traps and stuff like that. But like over there, I was only like focusing on one pain area, and it was almost like, ouch, it's more pain, not like less pain. So I don't know, is that something that may happen?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually more common than you think. I have people all the time. Everyone has different kind of preference in their body of the receptors. And what I mean by that is, not everyone has like a preference towards deep tissue massage. Some people, it hurts terribly. Other people, soft tissue massage feels just as good and has just as great benefits. It all depends on the individual. Like I personally don't have as much benefit from soft tissue massage as I do with deep tissue. That's where my receptors don't really react. But individuals have chronic pain is usually what I see that don't react well, or like lymphedema, patients like that. We don't do deep tissue on some of those individuals because it's so painful, and the body just reacts. And what that causes is like what we call kind of like catastrophizing. So like if we're introducing pain, all of a sudden all the other parts of the body become painful. The brain remembers every single injury or things like that. And then one area hurts and you're like, oh no. And then everything heightens and all the other areas of your body start like getting really tense and reacting. So that's a great question. Everybody's different. It all really depends on like your history of injuries and how recent the injury is. But I always say to try both, because some people react better to deep tissue like a golf ball, and other people just like a foam roller, and they just put a little bit of body weight and they just roll back and forth, and to them that's phenomenal. I think it all just depends on trying both and see what works best for you.
Okay, that's great. So I have a question, because I know that as a coach, one of the things that we've learned that are people who have diabetes, they're not allowed, or they're not able to foam roll their calves, because I guess the blood circulation or something on their legs, whatever happens. I mean, I'm not that type. I'm not a medical doctor. I am the other type of doctor. So I wouldn't know, but as a coach, we know that that's something that we shouldn't do. So what would they do? Will they like stretch? Or can they use their foam roller like on their upper thighs? What would they do then?
Yeah, another great question. I think it really does take into effect someone's medical history and clearing with their doctor what they can and can't do. So that's first, because it's kind of hard to say like all people with diabetes shouldn't foam roll, things like that, because now we're talking into other conditions that they may have. But if they want the same concept, a soft tissue massage is just as good. But I think it's important too to kind of first talk to their doctor. I wouldn't be able to safely be like, yeah, like foam roll and just do this. First talk to their doctor to see if their medical conditions are good to do something, because you never know, they might have some secondary lymphedema or a history of like DVTs, or surgeries. Typically with people with diabetes, there's other underlying conditions I would say if they still want to try to get some kind of massage to an area, just do it softly. Get it cleared by the doctor and go that route. Better to be safe than try to implement something that they heard somewhere is good for everybody, because that's not the safest way to do something. But yeah, I think soft tissue is always the best way to go. We do it to athletes. We do it to people of all kinds of backgrounds. I mean, soft tissue, literally, research doesn't have this adverse effect on soft tissue. And what soft tissue means is not, pressing really hard. I mean, I've had patients where literally the massage, I'm like doing this. And then another soft tissue massage, I'm kind of bringing into the area or moving with my palm to try to increase the mobility there, improve the blood flow. I'm not digging, and I think that's what a lot of people have this concept when they foam roll, that they have to dig and like really push. And that's not the only way to do it. And so I think for people with diabetes, if that, is a thing that they have other underlying conditions, yeah, just do soft tissue and do it to where it feels good. Don't push into pain and benefit from it. So.
Okay, great. Okay, so I have one last question, and it's just so that we can end the segment.
Yeah, sure.
My last question is, so in general, overall, is it good or safe to foam roll every day? And should you foam roll every day, like in every part of your body?
Yeah, I think it depends on the type of athlete or training regimen you have. Because, for example, like, if you're someone who does muscle groups different throughout the day, or you train like power one day, but it's power in the legs, and then strength upper body, obviously you don't want to just sit there and every day foam roll the whole body if they're, again, intent, because, like, for example, when I stretch or do something, or I do a workout, I don't do the full, I don't stretch every single muscle. I don't work out every single muscle when I train. You also want to overdo it, because just like, I guess, like massages and things like that, are they good every day? Yeah, they feel great. But then money comes into effect. If you're talking about foam rolling every day, you're talking about time, the time you have to put for it. So if you want to put 60 minutes into a full body like foam roll, I mean, go for it, but have your intent behind it. I don't, there's no research out there that I've reviewed or that we've been taught that 7 days a week of foam rolling is going to cause an issue. Mm-hmm. The same thing with like massages, that we don't, doing 7-day massages is not, it's just the pain concept. Like if you're doing deep movements into a foam roller, you might feel it. Like you're probably most likely going to feel it. So really, I just say it's individual based. Me personally, I like to space things out with doing things like when I foam roll daily, I foam roll with the intent to improve my upper back's mobility. But that's literally the intent behind it. I don't massage my upper back for myself. I massage my calves because I don't stretch as often in my calves. So that's my intent. I do that about 5 days a week, me personally. But I mean, there's no like ACSM guideline or sports college medicine, thing that says out there foam roll 3 to 5 days a week for 10 minutes. So that's why it's hard for me to kind of give that. I just always say, whatever your intent is, measure your intent, do it safely and the way you would like, and what benefits you. Because if you're foam rolling daily and you're hurting a lot, you should probably stop foam rolling. It's not, either one, it's not helping you, or two, it's quote unquote hurting you because you're turning on a lot of pain receptors. People, I think it's always important too to like show how to foam roll, because telling someone to foam roll, they're like, okay, I'm just gonna watch a video and then I'm gonna do it, but it's always good to kind of demonstrate and get into it, and so they kind of know what kind of level of foam rolling they're doing. But yeah.
Well, that's good that you said that, because maybe our next segment could be you showing us what parts of our body to foam roll for what pains or ailments, because I know for myself, I suffer from a lot of shin splints and it's terrible. So maybe offline we'll talk about that. Sorry guys, next time. But thank you so much for letting us know the importance of foam rolling, because I know that it's at least for us, as for me as a coach, it's easier for them to hear it from a doctor, you know, that it's something that helps rather than hurts, unless it actually does hurt. And then you have to, like, you know, kind of diminish it or not do it as much, or, you know, and really pretty much what you said, the intent behind it. So thank you so much, Dr. Reyes, for helping us understand the importance of foam rolling.
No problem. Thank you.